What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Submission Fishing Live. Another Thursday. Another thread hanging out of my hat. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing good. Got a pretty good show for you. We're going to talk about... Oh, there we go. There we go. Got to look good. We're going to do a little bit of talking today about like sport fishing and stuff like that. Coincidentally, I just got back from a 2-day trip. I got back last night pretty late. I was still pretty tired from that. Kevin... Nakata, he actually went on a trip too, so we both went on. He'll be in the show later today. Yeah, he went on a multi-day trip as well, so we both went out. We both left Monday. I came back yesterday, and I think he came back yesterday too, right? But you were earlier.
Yeah,
he was a lot earlier than I was, 6 a.m. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that, like what you guys can expect, kind of what we were fishing for, what we saw. Should you go fishing? Should you wait to go fishing? Yeah, so we'll get into that. Should be pretty good. We got the usual stuff, the news. You guys know. Of course, if you have any questions, let us know. Puhukai. Oos, what's going on, man? Number one, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us. Spinning Hard Rebel, Marvin, dude. Glad to see you. I feel like I didn't see you for a while, Marvin, but I'm glad you're back. Been back for a few weeks. Hopefully you've been fishing. Fishing reps. Oos, welcome to the show. Leonard, Oos, glad you could join us. DJB, Oos, great to be able to finally catch a live show. Yeah, dude, glad you can join us. Welcome to the show. Welcome, everybody. Say hi to DJ. Corey King, welcome to the show. Welcome, Corey. Did you go on your trip yet? Or no, that's still a while away.
Me?
Corey's trip?
Oh, yeah, it's on June 21st.
June 21st. Chet Pratt, welcome to the show. Oos, Michael Soloranzo, welcome back, man. John Escoval. Oos, hell yeah, you got the 20-gram icon. I know you like that 20-gram. Doug Rubin, El Sueño, welcome to the show. Ronald's Rods, welcome. Glad you could join us. Yochinator, welcome back. Good to see you here. Let's see. Hey, we got some news stories today. We'll open up with the news per usual. One story that's kind of funny but kind of sad at the same time. Let me put this in the chat here for you guys. But there's some halibut action going on. I'll just put it here in the chat so you guys can see it at your leisure. Let me share this. But unfortunately, we're dealing with some emergency halibut regulations. River salmon season closures adopted. So basically this affects, I think, Central California, Northern California. For those of you guys that don't know, even though we have California fishing laws and regulations, it's divided into zones, right? There's, I think, four zones or five?
6.
Is there 6 zones? Yeah, there's like Central California. So we're in the southern zone. There's like Mendocino. There's all these different areas you can fish, so we do have different regulations. But these guys up in San Francisco, looks like the halibut fishery's been. So here's the thing: it's been really good.
Like insane.
Yeah, insanely good. So California halibut fishing has been spectacular on San Francisco Bay this year, with some of the best action they've seen in reported weeks. For example, the lovely Martha Sport Fishing Boat returned to Fisherman's Wharf on Thursday, May 25th, with limits of 14 striped bass.
No. 14 limits.
14 limits, so 28, and 14 limits of halibut, 42. We started out the day with the wide open bass bite and then switched over to halibut. That's what the captain was saying. So yeah, great halibut fishing over the weekend. And so now they're going to limit it from, I think, 3 fish to 2 fish. But here's the crazy thing. And this is the nonsense, and this is the shit that pisses me off that we deal with, and we talk about these closures all the time. The reason that the halibut fishing is so good is because they've closed down the salmon fishing. You can see here, the pressure of these fish this year due to a total closure of the river salmon fishing led Rosendo and the other skippers and anglers request to change the bag limit to 2 to 3. So basically what happened is they've closed down the other fisheries over here in Central and Northern California. So what's happening? All these people now are going and fishing halibut and stripers, because they closed down the salmon and all the other fishing. It's like, what did you guys think was going to happen? You know, the people are looking for food, or they want to just go fish. Well, there's nothing else to fish for. So now all these salmon anglers and all these people that were fishing, so now they go fish halibut. Now the halibut fishing has been so good. Now they're going to limit the halibut fishing. It's just absolutely maddening, man. It's just crazy. Sort of like the whole thing with the MPAs, you know, it's like, if you limit 16% of the water off of California, you're just putting 16% more pressure on the rest of the water around it. right? Like
I think they should increase the size limit.
of
Right.
what, the halibut?
Yeah,
what,
I think it shouldn't be 22 inches. They should make it like.
you can come in the show. Kevin Nakata, everybody. I don't know why he was sitting over there. I think maybe he's scared or something.
Drinking wine.
He's drinking wine. He didn't want to be on.
But yeah, I mean, think about it. If people are only allowed to keep like a 35-inch fish, or that's extreme, but let's say like a 30-inch fish,
That's
all
big.
the fish have to get to 30 inches for them to keep. Then you get bigger ones, and then they've bred more, right? And then they can create more fish. But if they're doing only 22-inch limits, right, it's going to allow people to catch way more fish that are anywhere. Oh, and what does this say? Oh, that's specific.
Here's the thing: is that the reduced California halibut limit, designed to protect the resource and increase amid the increased recreational fishing pressure due to limited fishing opportunities and changes in other ocean fisheries, including salmon. The CDFW, in a press statement, the Pacific. So this is Pacific halibut fish. Oh, the Pacific halibut fishery is unaffected.
Yeah, because no
by
one's
the
catching
commission,
them.
yeah.
It's hard to get a Pacific halibut
Okay,
up north.
yeah. So it's the California halibut, which is mostly what we have anyways, but
Yeah, no one's catching Pacific down here.
just
But it does affect us down here. I mean, the rigs are going to change to affect us down here. I honestly don't have a problem with them reducing the limit. I just think they should have done a size limit reduction before they went to a number reduction.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense for people to continue catching not even a close to, a breeding fish. So,
so
personal opinion.
congratulations everybody. Since you lost one fishery and you decided you were going to continue in fish, now you are losing more fishing rights in your other fishery. So I don't know. Craziness, but just want to bring that to your guys' attention. Peach Z Niger Oos, welcome to the show. Let's see. I think I might have had another story here for you guys.
That's old one.
Yeah. Oh, and Lake Hodges reopens, so I'll put this link in here for you guys as well.
I think that was yesterday.
Yeah, it was. So Lake Hodges was closed due to like dam repairs. I think it was, right? It was deemed unsafe or something like that.
They have a drone footage of that? That looks like the lake right now.
Yeah, I'll pull it up in here. I'll put this link in here for you guys. Lake Hodges, that's a local lake here in San Diego. Escondido, I think, right?
Yes.
Or is it its
close
own
to
area?
It's like, Rancho Bernardo, right? Is that
Oh,
what it
okay.
is?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Via Rancho Parkway area. It's going to be awesome, though. That lake has been waiting for people to go into it legally.
Yeah, and even this one, too, there's kind of some restrictions on it.
It's only kayak.
Based on what you can do, yeah. So Lake Hodges has been closed. So if you're local here, here's some good news. The city of San Diego announced Lake Hodges would reopen Wednesday, May 31st, but only on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays from sunrise to sunset.
It's good. It's normal.
So
it's like Lake Otay.
3 days.
Yeah.
Only 3 days a week.
Yeah, they do Lake Otay
that's
like that,
interesting.
too. That's fine.
So it's only for kayaking, canoeing, shore fishing, rental boat fishing, float tubing, or some of the only activities allowed according to the city of San Diego. So what you can't do, boat launching, stand-up paddleboarding, windsurfing, winging, and all other contact activities will not be available. So it's not fully open.
Well, you never used to be able to go and be like swimming or anything. Water contact before anyways, so.
Right. But boat launching.
Boat launching, yeah, but it's so low. The reason why they can't get a boat on there is because the launch ramp's way down.
Okay.
Like, it's going to be dangerous for people to launch.
But for fishermen, it looks like it's pretty much open. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, city-owned Hodges imports water for drinking purposes. That's why you can't go in, correct? Usually the freshwater bodies of water, they don't want you to touch it. Like, you can use it, but they don't even want you putting your hands in it or
for whatever
getting
reason.
wet at all. Yeah, but it's funny because you can put. It's just one of those weird rules. Anything that's used for like drinking water, they really try to restrict contact. But
it's good. You know what? This is something they should have done a long time ago. I'm really surprised that they took this long to open it up to all the other, to fishing, because why shouldn't someone that's paying taxes to be able to basically access, well, not just access water, but do all sorts of things? Why shouldn't they just be able to walk the shoreline? Yeah. What's the harm in that?
I don't know.
So, but at least they're doing it now.
Maybe they just can't trust people. I think I gotta know. For me and you, right? We're like, well, obviously, people just be responsible.
What are they gonna trust though?
I don't know. Maybe they think somebody's gonna jump in, but you can still walk around it, right? I
Do you
don't know.
see Benji changed his name again?
He's not Butter Knife? Oh,
No.
he's gone back to the Tom Cod. Yeah. He was Tom Cod before. Let's see who else we got. Captain Dad, Sacramento, Hangtown Motocross. Greetings. Captain Dad, we were just talking about you guys. Hey, if we're going to go halibut fishing, man, remember, 2 instead of 3. 2 instead of 3. Take it easy on those halibut up there. Welcome, Captain Dan. Iron Fish, Oos, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us. SoCal Steve, welcome to the show. Thank you, Saltwater Tackle. Saltwater Tackle, Oos, welcome to the show. I didn't even see you. Glad you could join us.
Saltwater Tackle.
Benji, Butter Knife Marino in the house. Welcome. DJB, my opinion, CDWF won't be happy till all fishing and hunting is eliminated. Yeah, stock, catch, and keep is their goal. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much all agree with you. I don't know if it's CDFW. I mean, they've kind of been working themselves out of jobs, but California, political monster as a whole, I think, definitely wants to get rid of fishing in general. I definitely agree with that. CDFW, I mean, that's how they get paid, which is kind of double-edged sword for them, because it's like, I think most of their salary comes from like fishing licenses and permits and stuff, right?
No,
or they're just tax paying.
Yeah, it's tax paying dollars.
Okay.
It's
you would know more about that than I would.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I guess a judgment call on how many people are going to end up working for CDFW is based on how many license sales are out there, right? So it kind of plays in, but I don't think the money is derived for their pay based on license sales. I think they're probably getting paid through the state, federal, or state taxes or not taxes, but the budget every year, right? So I have to look into that actually, but I do not believe that they get paid through the license sales. I think license sales go to programs for management and other things like that. Like especially hunting. But I could be wrong. Let me check it up really quick.
Interesting. Tom Cod Marino. Did you move, Benji? Mel, welcome to the show. Oos, glad you could join us. Sorry, I had to close. Baby's going ham over there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened, but she got that bath. Now she got the zoomies. Let's see. I think news-wise is pretty much all I had, but definitely some noteworthy stories for sure. Let me check the notes here. Yeah, I think that was it. So yeah. Anyways, so we went on. I guess we'll just get into the meat and potatoes. So we had two trips come up. Kind of coincidentally, but we both left.
The
right?
same day.
The same day. I didn't really realize that, but some pretty interesting like outcomes came. So I went on the I did a BD Outdoors sponsored trip. So shout out to Cameron and Nate. You guys are really cool. Thanks for letting me hop aboard, show you guys some jigs. We ended up going on the Apollo, and it was a 2-day trip. So we left Monday, Memorial Day, and got back late yesterday. And definitely interesting to say the least. Which boat did you go on?
The Islander, which was always the mothership kayak ship boat, and they also did Guadalupe shark trips.
So a lot of these guys have probably been on that boat if they went on the Islander.
Yeah,
you guys did that trip, right?
Yeah. I don't remember. I think there's a lot of people here though for sure that have been on that boat. They stopped doing the kayak mothership trip though, so they're doing just straight like charter trips for tuna and stuff like that. But we launched out of Fisherman's Landing, and we went south, and then we met you up in San Clemente Island. But it's 1.5 day. You had a 2-day, right?
Yeah, I had a 2-day trip. Is Saltwater Tackle gifting memberships? Is that what's happening? Because I've seen people thanking, but I'm on like different software. I can't see if you are, dude. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Because I think some of these guys weren't members and now are becoming channel members. Let me know if that's the case, guys. That's really awesome.
Young Pete is not the captain. John is the captain. He's the owner, and I think Pete stepped down last year, retired from captaining.
Interesting, because the Apollo too also has a new captain.
Mm-hmm.
He just bought the boat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he did, dude. 5 subs.
Wow.
Awesome, man. Hey, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
That's
you guys
awesome.
enjoy your subs. You get like special emotes, and also I think in the YouTube section you can get a code for free shipping on all of our products. So even if you just buy 1 jig or 2 jig, there is a code in there for channel members for like free shipping. You don't have to spend the $50 to get it. So there are definitely some perks. But yeah, thank you, dude. That's so awesome. You're the first one I think to give subs on this show, so I appreciate it. Leonard, Oos, we already shouted you out. Leonard is a man. Yeah. So anyway, so our trip was was very interesting. You know, when we went out, bluefin's been on everybody's mind. You know, I think that's like what everyone's been going for. It was hot earlier in the season. But bluefin's kind of died down fishing. I think that's a little bit.
Yeah.
I think in our zone.
That can be an understatement, actually.
Yeah. So we left out of 22nd landing, 22nd Street landing out of Long Beach. So I didn't go south. We're already in, right, like LA County. So I wasn't expecting
San Pedro.
I wasn't expecting to go tuna fishing. We ended up launching and going to San Nicolas the first day. It's like 60 miles. It was pretty far.
Which is epic, by the way.
Yeah. And it was a pretty cool trip. We woke up, did some halibut fishing. And the fishing was slow, but it was like some of these guys were catching straight up like 25-pound, 30-pound halibut. Like they were big. And we were like 10 feet in the surf.
What were they catching them on mostly?
We had squid.
Live squid.
Yeah, which was pretty rare. I slow pitched the halibut, which was pretty funny because the bite was pretty slow. It wasn't wide open halibut. The halibut we caught were big, but Cameron was there. He's from BD Outdoors, and before we walked out, I grabbed my pole and I was like, I'm gonna go slow pitch a halibut. It was my first drop. I tossed it out there and got one up. It actually wasn't illegal. We had to let it go. It was just shy, like a half inch. It was still a pretty good size. But yeah, there were some monsters getting pulled out.
What was that one on? A javelin?
No, assassin, 60 grams.
60 grams.
We were in legit like 10, 15 feet of water.
Wow.
And we were just dragging the beach. A sport boat in less than like 15 feet of water. That's yo, you 100% you can see the bottom. Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
The waves were like breaking. Like it was nuts. It was crazy. It took some captain skills for sure. But the bite was it was slow. It was rough. Like we looked for white sea bass. So even though the halibut were there, it wasn't like it was a grind for sure, you know. And a lot of people skunked out, you know, they didn't get the halibuts. But then at like 2:00, I don't know what happened. Apparently there was reports of tuna in like San Clemente Island. So this is 2 p.m. the first day. The captain's like, "Oh, we're gonna go tuna fishing." So we packed up and we drove 6 hours south to the backside of San Clemente Island, where we ended up meeting. Your guys' boat was in that area too. Yeah. So tell us like how your day went at the beginning. Because you guys didn't start there either.
No, we started way south and below the Coronados, looked for fish, and then everyone ditched that idea, and the whole fleet went up to the San Clemente. And then before we went up to San Clemente, we stopped at the 60-mile bank. Dude, that place is mega biting. Dude. The Boccaccio, rockfish, yeah. I mean, there's always a chance for tuna to be around, but it's not like the most common thing right now. So, but I've never seen so many Boccaccio ever.
That's crazy.
And they were huge. Like they were probably 15 pounds, like the biggest ones. But
so where'd you guys start? You went down to Mexico,
down past the Coronados, and then we came back up to the 60-mile bank and out, which is probably about a 30-mile run from where we started the fishing at night on the first night for looking for tuna. And then we loaded up with rockfish. I mean, and we were fishing I was fishing the 600-gram rainbow roll ogre. And man, I caught 5 big vermilions. We only had maybe 3 hours of fishing, maybe. And then I had a bunch, you know, we gave some product away, courtesy of Submission Fishing Company. And we had plenty of guys fishing it, and they were smacking. But I brought the setup. I brought the real deal setup. So I brought my Fathom 40 with 30-pound samurai braid, but I wish I brought the 15. But anyways, we were fishing like 600 feet of water, and I was vertical, like no scope, just straight dropping up and down. So I didn't get any chance of like getting tangles. Right. Everyone else is scoped way far out. I was like the only one without tangles.
Because you were using light line and heavy jigs.
Yes, and everyone else was
deep?
600.
That's pretty deep.
450, 600 feet. Yeah, with a 500 to 600 gram jig. A lot of people hooking fish. So
yeah, it was pretty awesome. I saw the pictures. That's good stuff. So anyways, what color assassin? I think it was the pink. Dude, I don't know if you checked my Instagram story. Some dude caught 12 halibut today on the assassin.
Really?
12. I think a lot of them were short.
On all of them on
a 15-gram rainbow roll.
I did see that, actually.
Yeah, and he was like...
15, though?
I think it was the 15. Or it could have been a 20.
No, but he caught 15 halibut.
He caught 12 halibut.
Or 12 halibut? Wow.
Yeah. Crazy. And all kinds of stuff. And on the rainbow roll. It actually might have been the 20 gram. I'll have to ask him and check. But yeah, dude was out there killing it today. Yeah, it was no joke. But I just threw it in like 10 feet of water. And it was... Yeah, so anyways, but we ended up at the same place. So you guys left there.
But we got there earlier than you. We started fishing in basically midday of what was that? Monday or Tuesday. So we started fishing midday at San Clemente, and we ran into fish at like 3 to 4 p.m. and we caught 2 fish.
You did catch 2.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, there were 2 bites on the boat.
Yeah.
That was it. There was, and it was all sinker rig fishing.
Right. We didn't get down there till like 7 p.m.
Right.
6 p.m. And interesting. So San Clemente died last night. It was Vagabond and Excel. They moved 80 miles, sucked Rusty. Yeah, that was crazy. So it was you. So we say that we show up, the entire fleet is there.
The entire fleet.
Every boat you can think of was there. And I'm just
more.
like, it was nuts everywhere you looked. So I don't know if somebody like just got on the radio and whispered tuna and like everybody went up there.
No, they all talked.
Because you said somebody caught to the Shogun, right?
They caught 50, dude. They were on him, but
they just hit a school or
yeah,
it was crazy.
But when people on the fleets, they're talking because they need success.
Yeah,
everyone needs to catch fish, and so they hear it from each other and they're talking, try to work together. But yeah, we did not get them like everyone else did. Not everyone else. Actually, I shouldn't say everyone else. I think there was 2 boats that actually hammered them. Lucky
that
School.
night. Okay, yeah.
The night before.
We looked like, yeah, we drove around like hours all night. We didn't find them a single time.
We didn't find any
crazy.
night fish either. So
yeah, but like the whole fleet was there, and then so the next day we woke up because we had a 2-day thing, so we got to fish all the next day. But we were in San Clemente Island at this point.
But you had a whole morning to fish there.
We had a whole morning to fish, yeah. And I personally wish we went north to Channel Islands. That was kind of our goal, but people hear tuna, man, and it's just like they go nuts. A lot of people on our trip were expecting to fish tuna, so that was sort of like a complication. So I think once the captain heard like there was tuna south, he just picked up and left. I would have preferred to go north for more white sea bass and halibut fishing, but it is what it is. It was San Clemente Island was dead, dude. We fished the kelp. It was like, because we were looking for yellowtail, not even at like calicos, like nothing was out there. So we ended up rock fishing too.
On Clemente.
Yeah, we got some good rockfish and
using what?
The ogre, man.
The 500, 600,
5, 6, 400, all of them. And it was funny because the captain was like, he goes, "Oh, we're gonna do some rock fishing." He goes, "We're gonna be fishing 350 feet deep." And everybody started groaning, like it was so deep. They're like, "Oh my god, 300!" And it's funny because like
that ain't deep.
After we've been fishing 800 feet deep,
it's not
hand cranking, and it's not a big deal. So I was like 300. This is shallow as hell. I don't know what these guys are smoking, but yeah, they were all just like let out this groan about like fishing. But we got some big reds, and it's pretty awesome. People were doing the cut squid and pulling up like some little babies, and I pull out the ogre jigs like this big. I send it down instantly, just the biggest red on the whole boat. And then everybody was like, yeah. So I passed the jig around and literally gave the jig to people, and they drop it and they were catching fish. And yeah, they soon became believers of the giant ass jig catching big ass. They were easily the biggest fish being caught.
Because, yeah.
It was cool. But that was a lot of fun. We only fished for like an hour and a half. We kind of got a handful of rockfish, but then we went back to look for more game fish, and it just was not on, man. A lot of driving. Still was a good trip.
Look at that. Someone got 15. SoCal Steve they got 15 bluefin on the boat.
Dude, that's pretty good.
Was that yesterday?
Was that last night?
We took off to the Cortez Bank and loaded up on reds and lings at 60 Mile. Oh, really? You got lings at the 60 Mile?
Yeah. We didn't find any lings.
Man.
I would have loved a ling cod. We didn't get any.
We were fishing at 60 Mile. We didn't get any lings. I would love to go. Oh, so
you guys caught some big ass fish though.
Oh yeah, we caught big rockfish.
I think your rockfish were even bigger than the ones
they were giants. But
we weren't that deep.
Yeah.
The grade of reds we were getting though for 350 feet, not bad.
Like how big? Like 5 pounds? 3 pounds?
Probably 4 or 5. Yeah, they were.
That's pretty good.
They were good.
We everyone was fishing sardines on the boat except for there was actually probably half were fishing a submission and the big ones like a 500 to 600, and the other half was fishing a Ganyan with sardines. Okay. We actually were keeping up with the sardine guys because they kept losing sardines off the hook.
Yeah.
So they never knew if they actually had bait down there. So
Yeah.
we didn't have to worry about that. We were just popping them off, you know.
Dude, that's one of the things about jigs, though. It's like, you do not want to be fishing 600 feet not knowing you don't have a bait on there.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
sucks.
crappy part with using live bait or even strip bait. How many times you probably lose the bait going down? It just falls off the hook, and you're down there for 10 minutes, and you're not fishing. You're just down there with a bare ass hook, and you reel it up, and there's nothing on there. And it's like, how long has it been like that? Like, who knows, man? I'm not about that life.
No. And I found out that fishing like we do, like we have been on your boat, it's actually better to fish like we do on a sport boat because of how straight up and down you are. Like when we use the light line, like the 20-pound braid, you're vertical the whole time. On a sport boat. You're vertical,
and everybody else,
and everyone is scoped way out. Like
100%.
They're using 60-pound braid or 40-pound mono, and the thing is like way away from the boat. You're the only one straight up and down.
And that was interesting because I remember I told you, or I talked to you guys maybe about it, but I actually had that was a problem when I went tuna fishing because I was the only one vertical, and everybody's trying to walk down the rail. I'm like, but I didn't need to. So now it was like a problem because, you know, everybody. If you guys don't know, when you follow your bait, follow your jig, follow your thing, people are using heavy line and light jigs, and they're just scoping out, and the current's taking their jig. So everybody's trying to walk and follow, and I'm just standing there like literally vertical.
Yeah.
So now people are like having to go around me, and it was like, it kind of disrupted the flow because I couldn't walk because then my jig would have been left behind. So it was like, it was an interesting problem that I didn't really account for. I mean, I didn't care. I just let them go around me. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal because they could go around and go over me, but I was just standing there in one spot, and everybody else was going around. And
did you ever fish like live bait for bluefin while you're up at the rail or at the night fish or anything? My reason why I'm asking is,
you just asked me if I fish live bait.
I know. So when you
this trip, I did last time.
When you look at the reel, when you have 80-pound Spectron or braid, and you go from 20, you go from 20 to 80, you look at it, you're like, wow, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like, it's so much bigger. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
We were talking about that too, kind of off topic. There's some of these guys were like really good fishermen out there. Most people they were pretty experienced, but we were talking like, if you've ever tied on 40-pound braid, 40-pound mono, you cannot break that.
No.
You physically cannot break that.
No.
Like we've been stuck on the bottom.
Yes.
We could not break 40-pound braid.
No, we couldn't break 20-pound braid.
Even with gloves, yanking on this, like it's not going to happen. No. We had to cleat the line and pull it off with the boat.
Every time we do that.
It's like, it's interesting because my line on there is like 50 pounds and people are like, I don't know, we're going to get some big tuna. Like,
just wait.
I got to your drag.
It can't.
It's nowhere near 80 pounds of drag would pull you overboard. 40 pounds, you wouldn't even be able to hold on to the reel. It's like, I don't know. I think we just got to reassess some of the heavy gear that we use. Like,
and the thing
I just don't know if it's necessary. Like,
well, if you use lighter braid on fly line bait, you're getting better action out of your bait.
Well, this is so heavy
because it's so much drag. Just like we're talking about with all this stuff, dropping it down and not being vertical, it's so much drag on these baits. Like they can't move.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like I'm curious what the weight is. Like we should do that. Like pull off.
Oh, weigh
300 feet of 15-pound and pull 300 feet of 80-pound and actually put it on a scale. And I bet the pounds difference would be just huge.
The weight difference alone.
And then you multiply that by a tiny ass bait fish pulling that.
Well, if you weigh it, right, you would think that the diameter is relative to the ratio of weight. So let's say you're using 80-pound braid and you're comparing it to 20-pound braid. If it's 4 times the weight, I'm just throwing out now. It's not what it actually is, but if it's 4 times the weight, theoretically it should be 4 times the size diameter, right? In theory, there's 4 times more material.
I see what you're saying. Theoretically speaking,
right? So that's 4 times more drag. That the weight has to be pulled by a sardine or something like that.
Yeah, tiny ass fish. It's crazy. Because you know what's interesting? Because I see people get bit a lot fly lining on spinning reels, and I think it's that same idea. They're not even having to, since they don't have to pull it off of the spool. The spool, it's just flying off the bail. Like there was this guy. He's in here sometimes. I forget his screen name. I don't want to dox him with his real name, but I fished with him a few times, and this dude always got bit. Whenever we were fly lining,
Spinning
And
reel.
he was like, I'm going to go get bit. He didn't always use it, but like, he's like, I'm going to get bit right now. He'd pull out the spinning reel, fly line your bait, and he would always get bit.
Yeah.
And he'd hand it off because he didn't want to fight a fish on a spinning reel. Because that's a whole nother problem, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now you have to fight it on a spinning reel, but it was that same concept of like, that bait would just
Go.
take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I fish a spinning reel on like anything under 40 pound for a fly line bait. I've done it before. Not on sport boats, private boats. It works really good.
Yeah. It's crazy. Weather is still cold. Yeah, so that was another thing too. The weather, it was cold. We woke up I didn't take my jacket off the whole time. And then in the morning, it was like windy. Rain was like, not rain, but like that
Mist
morning
thing.
mist that it was like we were getting wet. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. Definitely not summer conditions yet. But still, yeah, it wasn't a bad trip. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'm glad you guys caught on some fish though. We had the halibut we did catch were pretty awesome. They were like big, like 30-pound California halibut.
How much
Those are no
time did you dedicate to that spot? Like,
Not-
actually dedicated.
4 hours,
That's not that much time.
maybe more.
Yeah.
No, 5. Yeah, it wasn't that much. It should have been a lot more.
Yeah.
I would have rather woken up and done that again, just for a shot, because you don't catch California halibut like that too often.
Mm.
But I mean, it is what it is. You know, you gotta do what the people want. When fish are biting the jig is more fun. Yeah, dude, 100%. 60. Yeah, the water is cold too. I mean, that's not really.
The water
helping.
was really cold.
So at 600 feet, how long an average does it take to reel up? Let's say 6-to-1 reel. The gear ratio is hard to say. It's all about the inches per crank. Because even though it's 6-to-1, that doesn't equate to like. I would say, get something that's. So I just bought an O'Shea jigger,
Yeah.
4,000.
Nice reel.
That thing gets 46 inches per crank,
Wow.
and it vacuums up fish. Other than that, I was using the Penn Fathom, and that's still like, it's not in the 40s though.
No.
30.
38 or something.
So the O'Shea jigger I got was the high gear too.
Mm.
I would say get as much footage as you can. Most of my reels, if I can get them, I try to get the high gear
So how long did it take you to get a fish off the bottom?
at 600 feet.
Like
Well, we didn't
minutes,
fish 600
minutes.
feet.
Well, you fishing 300.
300. It was quick, dude.
Like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
It takes.
Yeah.
I think it takes me about 5 minutes
Yeah.
if it's a big fish or a couple on the jig. Actually, that would be 750, so it takes me less time, probably
Yeah.
4 minutes.
Yeah, when we're using the Penn Fathoms usually. And those are what, 30, 36 inches maybe? 30,
Yeah, I have no
32, yeah. Inches for crank, but
It's really not that bad.
it's
We
not.
say that every time.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. When you first do it, it's like kind of nuts, but then it's just like whatever. Once you're in it, it's not a big deal. Once you start catching the big fish, it's
Makes it
not a
worth it.
problem anymore. Yeah, you're like, then it's fun. It's much nicer than having to deal with bait. Michael Tran, my man, that's right. Sometimes though, man, it's hard not to. I was flatlining the squid in like the 10 feet.
Oh,
of
you
water
were?
for the halibut.
You didn't get bit? Oh,
I got
man.
only the slow pitch jig.
Yeah.
That was my only halibut came on that.
Hmm.
But it was like, you got to think 20. There was like 22 guys, all the lines in the water, and it was like 1 an hour, 2, and there wasn't many caught, so
Hmm.
it wasn't like wide open.
Dang.
And they were all fishing like the fly. I was the only one throwing like artificials, but that's not to be expected. I don't believe in heavy line unless you're gonna go for big tuna 100 plus. Yeah, dude, it's just not necessary. I don't know if I told you guys the story, but the last time I went out, I caught a 50-pound tuna. This was last month, and I thought my reel had 50-pound line on it, but I took that reel the week we went rock fishing, and I forgot I brought it in, and I had 30-pound line put on,
Yeah.
and I totally forgot. I'm fishing for tuna thinking I have a 50-pound setup, and I was on 30-pound test.
Yeah.
Landed a 50-pounder, no problem. On 30-pound test.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know I had 30-pound until I got home, and it dawned on me. Even like the whole trip, I'm like, damn, this 50-pound is thin. I was surprised. Like I was touching it, and it was like, and I got home, and I was like, oh no, I was on 30-pound, and it
No problem.
was no problem.
Yeah.
The 50-pounder.
I think we do fish very heavy over here. A lot of people on the rest of the country, especially the East Coast, they fish larger leader than they do braid.
Yeah, but some of these leaders, dude, like 130 pounds. It's like, really? Like I've done it. I'm that guy. I've been there, but
It's more for
I've
braid resistance.
just been rethinking it, man. Like it's just.
It's more
Do
for...
you ever need like 80, even on a 200-pound fish?
Yes, you do. Yes,
you need
do.
more than
Because of the teeth.
no, but I mean it's not. I mean braid wise. I'm
Oh,
talking the braid.
well, I think.
Do you need more than 80-pound braid at any point?
I think it becomes if you're doing if you're putting braid, like using a braid knot, a splicing knot. I think that's when it makes a difference because I believe that if
Like
you
the
use,
hollow core.
well, maybe, but if you use braid on a larger line, like diameter or a leader line, I think that one of the concerns I have is that braid might cut into the leader material. That's my concern. But it's here nor there. I think.
But that would make sense. Then that's where you would use like a 130-pound leader.
But you can
which,
do
like,
a
makes
wind on.
sense.
But you can
Yeah.
do a wind on and you wouldn't have a problem because it's all interconnected and a 60-pound hollow to like a 100-pound wind on leader would make sense. I could see that. That's probably actually a really good idea for big fish. Pulled in a 180-pound tuna on 65-pound braid and 50-pound mono. There you go.
Yeah. It probably wasn't even that bad. I saw a dude kill a 75-pound fish. Or no, it was actually like 100. It was more than a 75. It was like a 100-pound fish. 30-pound test on a Fathom 25.
That's what I'm talking about.
Killed this fish in 30 minutes.
You want to see some? I'll show you a picture really quick. I know a guy that caught a 150-pound yellowfin on a Penn Fathom 10.
That's pretty impressive.
10.
That's pretty good.
I'll show you a picture.
I got the old, kind of disappointing. Got the old okie doke. Some guy was like, "Oh, you better hope we don't get into big tuna with the gear you brought." I was just like, "Oh my God."
This.
I'm like, "What year is this, dude? I thought we were over this whole thing." I'm like, "It's slow pitch gear." He didn't understand what I was saying. He was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I don't think you're gonna catch a big fish on that." I was like, "I hope we do, bro." Are you guys running straight braid deep so you can feel all the bites? Well, it's still a leader. I don't run straight braid to the jig. But it's not like a top shot. We're talking like maybe a 4-foot
mono. Yeah, but tell them how much braid we're putting on these reels.
Well, yeah, well, like...
Tell them how much.
I don't even know. Like 700 yards. Like a ridiculous amount. Yeah, yards. It's crazy.
Of 20-pound braid.
Let's see here. It's a function of being required to spend more money to load a reel. Oh, with the braid, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I've been spending some big bucks.
150 bucks
loading up these braids. That is true, dude. I do hear that. You can back it.
You could back it.
Yeah. There is definitely that. You don't really want to run into that knot though in between, but.
Or if you break off 100 yards of braid, then you've just shot yourself in the foot. You can't even get down to the bottom anymore.
Right.
If you don't have enough braid, right?
Because remember, I broke off like 600 feet of braid last time.
Dude, it sucked.
It sucked. J braid, never again.
Nope.
You warned me about
X9,
it.
man.
Well, they didn't have it. They didn't have the X9.
Now they do.
Well, not when I went. I had to get. That's why I had to get the J braid. I never used it, but
Berkeley X9, man, that's the stuff right now.
Yeah. Let's see. Doc Stalker, Oos, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us. Manny Fresh, Oos, welcome. Glad you could join us. Elias Lorenzo, hello, first time dropping in over here. Glad you can join us, dude. Let's talk fishing. Got any questions? Let us know. Pulled in a 180-pound tuna on 65-pound braid and a 50-pound. Yeah, dude. I think I already read that one, but 100%. SoCal Steve. Let's see. Change in regulations have been amazing for our sport fleets. Which changes, Coach? Oh, the rock fishing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
That was a great call.
What's crazy? Oos, welcome by the way. But it's been 600 feet for a while, and I don't think anybody like really fished the 600. The last 2 years, it's been like up to 600 feet, but for some reason now they opened it all up, and everybody's like, "Oh, whatever."
No,
let's go for it.
But the thing is that the thing that changed it was us not following the fathom curve, right?
Oh yeah,
the 100 fathom
that's
curve.
True. That's true.
That didn't prevent us from going out to these open spots.
That's true. For those of you guys that don't know what he's talking about, there's like this imaginary line of there's coordinates that you could only fish within.
You had to fish from an
That's true.
undetached part of the 100 fathom curve, which is 600 feet. Before this was last year, so you couldn't fish past the 9 mile bank because it beyond the 9 mile bank that let's say like the 60 mile bank because it was unattached from 60 fathoms, right, or 100 fathoms.
Right.
So that was the problem.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Is Kevin
Oh my
taken now,
God.
asking for a friend?
Oh yeah, she's here.
Yeah, dude. Why you all dolled up anyways?
Wait,
Look
with
at that.
me?
Button-up shirt.
Oh, shoot.
Hair all combed. What were you doing today?
Well,
Just
trying
chilling?
to impress
Just-
your
just
sister.
kicking
Trying to impress your sister.
Yeah. Is she impressed?
I think she is. She's still with me, and you haven't killed me yet. The weekly
Yeah,
update.
they were worried. They didn't see you last week. So
Yeah, I know.
They were worried for your well-being.
I'm trying to find this.
What size do you throw for halibut from shore? Size jig or size line? Shore, I mean, you're probably... you can throw anything. 40 gram, 20 gram. If you're just targeting halibut, I might go a little heavier. Probably 30-pound test, just in case. You'd probably be fine with 20-pound, though. If that's all you got.
You talking about line or gram?
Well, that's what I was asking. I'm not sure. But it hasn't been 600. Yeah, it's not in the line. Yeah, that's right. Slick hair, no, right? You guys ever seen this guy? He's all dolled up.
Mm-mm. Oh, man.
We did have some of those rockfish, though, for dinner. That was pretty good. We had those vermilion.
We had it last night, too. Man, it was good.
That was legit.
Yeah, that's honestly, I would rather eat rockfish than bluefin right now.
He just bluefinned out.
I'm bluefinned out. I could do like maybe a week of sashimi and some poke, but after that, I don't know, man. I'm out.
Yeah, I ate that Toro, dude, for like 3 days.
This house must have reeked,
it was
dude.
Legit. I just seared it,
Oh yeah,
and we ate most of it raw. Yeah.
Toro, huh? Dang, dude,
Just
that stuff gets me, man.
It was like so oily, so fatty, but it was
so
good, dude.
oily.
It was
You don't
so
even
good.
need to put a freaking, any oil in the pan. You just
No.
right there.
Yeah, it was so rich.
Oh yeah.
But it was legit. My bad. I was talking about jig. You like? I don't fish from shore all that often, but I think this guy catching all these halibut, he was fishing from shore. He was rocking the rainbow roll.
I saw that.
No, he might have been in a kayak. Actually, I think he was in his kayak, but yeah, I'd say 20 gram. I throw it from like the Carlsbad Lagoon.
I think people need to, try like a 10 all the way to 20 and find out what works for them, right? Because you can't just go out there and say one size is going to work for them.
Yeah, it depends.
10 to 20, man.
I did drop a 20 gram on the boat and caught a fish.
Did you? What was it?
It was a tree fish. And like,
that's cool though.
Yeah, it was. It was
10
fun.
feet of water?
No, it was like 50 feet of water.
Was
This
it
is when we were
Clemente?
like fishing the kelp. Yeah,
Oh,
Clemente.
okay.
Nobody was getting bit, and I threw the 20 gram and smoked it, dude.
That's cool.
It was one of the bigger fish we caught. There were a lot of dinks, little small whitefish, but it was good.
That was weak.
It was a
Did you just
blast.
put your hands up and do this?
It was like this.
Oh my god.
Dude, it was like a little tree fish.
At Clemente?
Yeah.
Oh.
Put on like a 20
That's a
gram.
bad day.
Dude, it was fun.
Dude, that's a
Because I was
bad
on my
day.
spinning reel.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the reason
fun.
I brought it.
I mean,
It
it's
was like,
it's fun,
Yeah.
but that's a slow day.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It was like pull and drag. Because it had like my little 10-pound setup. But
People
it
were
was,
probably tripping out. They were going, "What do you have? What do you have?"
Right, yeah. It was always. It was the sumo. Got it done.
Oh, is it sumo? Interesting. Which color?
Rainbow.
Oh, okay.
What jig do you like? You have any preference? You like this?
Me?
The stellar shad, right?
For what? That small stuff?
Yeah.
15 gram, a stellar shad assassin. And I've told you this before. I wasn't an assassin fan before.
Hey,
I've
you were a
converted.
sumo guy for sure.
Yeah, I was sumo all the way. But
Are
now
you
I'm
like no
converted.
sumo now, or you're just?
I like sumo.
You like
I like
both?
the sumo for
Yeah.
the docks. I like it, but for open water and everything else, short pound, the assassin is where it's at for sure, in my
Nice.
opinion.
I think Brian likes to fish. He's an orange pumpkin guy. That's like,
Assassin?
yeah, and the assassin too, and he slays with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy. No old timer has ever been able to explain to me why I need 100-pound brain on my reel with 40-pound max drag. It doesn't make sense to me. What am I missing?
Abrasion. That's about it.
Yeah, abrasion resistance.
But even then, like you get a nick on a 100-pound and it's not even close to. It's just gonna fall apart at that point.
Yeah. Because even your drag, you're never at like 40 pounds of drag.
No.
You'd have to crank that thing down. Even then, you wouldn't be able to hold on to it. Like you're probably like 25 pounds, 30 pounds of drag, like maximum.
Yeah, I don't think
You know.
you're if on untainted and uncut, no nick, 40-pound braid. I would say that you're probably fishing at 50 pounds of strength. Seriously, your knot's the worst part of the whole thing.
Yeah, 100%. It's like the weakest.
We should just
That's gonna
test
break.
this one day.
Yeah, we should.
How do we test that? You get a little thing. You go out to the shop and you freaking pull on it with a spring scale. Try to break it.
What, just
The buckle.
to test the tensile strength?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people do that all the time. Like, we use one of those machines like the CCA or the Isolines have when they do that giveaway for or that donation for CCA, and they like put it on the machine.
Not timed contest.
That's legit.
A few more steps.
Then you
might get there.
Then you can wrap it, and you wouldn't have to do knots, right? Just wrap both ends, so it's just pulling on the.
Have you seen the ratcheting cleat? So they put some guys have been putting in ratcheting cleats, and they've been doing the little ratchet cleat, and then put a spring scale on the other end, and they've been showing that the breaking strength of knots. A little cheaper version.
Yeah, there's plenty of it out there.
I can't find the guy that did the 10.
Salty Dangler, Oos, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us. How's everybody? How's it going out there, Salty? You been fishing? Saltwater Bass Series? Yeah. So anyways, just to go back to the little sport boat thing, I mean, I guess the whole punchline is, should you wait, should you go? I mean, you should still go out there and go. I just would have your expectations kind of tempered. I don't know if you'd be looking for tuna, but you can always be on that boat that does find them. Somebody has to go find them. There's an old saying, like, if you've heard about it, it's already too late. Like, so that's the thing too. You kind of want to be. It's not bad being the ones that do find them, but water's still pretty cold. I don't think that bite was hot like a month ago. That's kind of cooled off a little bit, but
a lot, yeah.
I definitely still go out. I just have a realistic expectation about what you go for. Even the multi-day trips, if you can go and do multiple things, it's pretty cool. If you can go fish the islands, then the kelp, then look for tuna. Then fall back on rockfish. I don't know if I'd do like a bluefin or bust trip right now, because you might not just catch anything.
Look,
what is that?
That's a size 10 fathom that fish was caught on.
That's insane.
A size 10, dude. Look at how he's pulling this thing.
Let's show him the camera.
Look at this thing. Their boy Sam over in Florida.
And what is that? 30 pounds max drag?
Not even. It's a size 10 fathom.
I think this guy still has 30 pounds, but even still, it's like, it's not the same. We've talked about this. Like, the discs aren't the same. It gets friction. It heats up quickly.
Yeah.
Like, you guys know that. Like, at a smaller reel, 40-pound drag's not the same on a tiny, like on those bait casters, like the Akuma and the Pen that say, like, oh, we've got 40 pounds, 30 pounds of drag. It's not the same as having 30 pounds of drag on, like, a Fathom 40. Simply because just, like, the surface area is not the same. They heat up, it's crazy.
Taipan's rods is in the house, man. Look what he said, though. He's got a breaking scale now.
Taipan rod. Just ordered a breaking scale from Rods. Dude, you're a line tester. Simon, I was repping the Taipan. So Simon, by the way, he drove down and dropped me off a custom. So I have another version of the tuna rod, which I was using. Yeah, that thing was badass. People were loving that thing. I had one Phoenix, but aside from that, I think I had five Taipan rods.
Is it
maybe four? And then I had like
that had the Husha jigger on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
I think it was legit,
that's mean.
I'm selling some rods for you, dude. People were loving that thing. But Nate had a Taipan too.
He did.
So apparently
the rail rod.
Yeah, you guys let him use.
He has the rail rod.
So he brought the rail rod.
Good.
And I was like, dude, that's a Taipan. He was like, oh yeah. He's like, they wanted us to test him, or they asked to test him, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had the rail rod, so he was ready. But I saw some Taipans on that trip for sure.
Yeah.
But all those fish were caught, man. Yeah, I was throwing the 100, the Taipan 100 gram.
The
200 gram, yeah.
That's what I was letting people use too.
It's fun, dude. So much fun.
Yeah.
Goes bend on that thing. Yeah, dude, we're going to have to do some testing then. Get you on the show. Maybe you can do it from Arizona. We'll do the definitive line test.
And rod
Denny
test.
Perez, I preached to lies about the submission jigs, and now he's a believer. Oh, dude. Was he out there using them? Hell yeah. Denny Perez, you're the man. You're the slayer, dude. Always killing it out there on him. Do you think the full moon makes more fish active or more lethargic? What do you think about that? People were saying, like, the full moon's coming, so the white sea bass bite's going to be magical. I don't know.
I've seen different fish react differently, and I don't think that I've seen fish eat on different moon phases and tide phases and weather patterns. I don't believe in anything. When fish want to eat, they want to eat. But I do think tuna I think that affects them, and I don't
For
think
better or for worse?
I think full moon is not a good.
It's
not
bad.
Yeah,
You think because they see? Because I've heard like full moon, they can see, so they eat more at night. But then that affects the bite in the day. I don't know. I've heard so many things.
I just have not had good luck with full moons.
Okay.
But new moons, yes.
You think just tuna or just
tuna?
What about other fish?
Just in my experience with tuna, it's always been, it really has been a new moon thing, not a full moon.
New moon's better,
in my opinion.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I just go out and fish. I don't let it really affect me. I'm not a huge moon phase guy. I think more for freshwater is really important because I think tides, water temperature are much more important in saltwater than I think the moon. I think in freshwater, when you don't have tides, you don't have current, I think that plays a lot more into how the animals eat and the light and stuff like that. But saltwater, I think so many other things are more important.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors
Winds
in saltwater.
And
Food.
Current, food. That's the bait. But the bait comes in on the tide and the current and the water. So it's water temperature. It's like
thermoclines.
Yeah,
all sorts current, like you said. Yeah,
I just think they're a lot less dependent on the moon.
Yeah,
that's my personal belief. Some people swear by it though. So to answer your question, I have no damn idea. And nobody does. Don't let anybody tell you they do because that's not true. It's like if it were real, here's the thing. If it was true, those little moon phase calendars would be like gold.
They would be worth their weight.
And people fish by those by the Bible, but they're not out there killing it. Like I think people buy them and they try to fish on like the better days, but it don't matter. Because I've looked at the moon phases and gone fishing. And it's like when it's supposed to be a bad fish, they've got like the tides for fishing has that, and you can look at it. It has activity chart, and it'll tell you like it's. I've been on like bottom activity charts and just crushed it when it's supposed to be dead, and then I've gone other days where it's supposed to be really great, and you don't catch shit. So I don't think it
affects it. No.
I've had good days. I've had bad days on full moon.
Just gotta go fishing. That's just the bottom line. When it happens, it happens.
It's true. There's days it just doesn't go down. That's just my opinion. I mean, there's people that maybe have a more educated idea. Tyler, what's going on? Yeah, dude, we got to get that tuna. What were we talking about?
Tell them what's going into Milton's.
Oh yeah, Milton's Taco. We picked them up. They're carrying the big stuff, dude. They did a big order of 400, 500, 600 grams. So you guys want to get those big jigs? Where are they located?
They're in. Oh God, it's it's not Santa Fe. No, it's definitely not Santa Fe. Anaheim? Is that right? I'm gonna look it up really quick. I want to say it's near Anaheim.
Rockfish were active last week.
But they have a Newport store too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but they'll be online. They're gonna be sold online too.
Cabin Boy, Oos, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us. I've taken a few assassin jigs to Mexico, Oaxaca, and caught quality Sierra mackerels.
Did you say Oaxaca?
Isn't that what that is?
Oaxaca.
Oaxaca. I said it so confidently, like I'm gonna nail this shit. Like, what is it? What did I say? What did I say? Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
Close enough.
Yeah, whatever.
Same shit. Tomato. Does anybody say tomato?
No. When's the last time you met someone that said tomato?
Potato. Nobody says potato. That's for damn sure.
Maybe we'll start a trend.
The locals were amazed. Great product. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. All you guys out there fishing it. He said the Sierra mackerels, from shore. That's cool. I sold a tuna setup to a fellow Mac trade. Nice, dude. That's awesome. Moon phase is so Yoch, dude. He's all about that bluefin moon phaser. Yep. Maybe there is something to it. I've just never like looked at a moon and been like, oh, I'm not booking this day. I'm like, whatever. If there's a trip I get on me, I'm like, I'm gonna go.
My favorite thing, I like to book when it's really dead, when the fishing's terrible. Because
that's usually
there's gonna be something that triggers the fish. As soon as it's done, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be wide open.
Right.
Because they can't stop eating forever. They're gonna eat at some point.
Tuna, largemouth bass are both moon phase dependent. Okay.
There you go.
Coach is in the moon camp. Kevin, tell us about the Taipan low pitch rod. What's the difference between that and regular slow pitch?
The main difference is that the low pitch rod has a
Dave Rage later.
Yep, always out. The low pitch rod actually has a spine, so it has backbone. It can not the spine. Excuse me. It has a backbone, so it has stopping power, It stops right around like 40% of the rod, and then it loads into more of like a West Coast style, like a live bait rod, like a 7 foot, like a 760. It stops right there and allows you to fight the fish and have the tip work just like you would for a slow pitch rod, but then after that, they're shut off. So where it's really important is fish that are like yellowtail that have a lot of fight over a long period of time. Instead of having to point the rod like a slow pitch jigging rod where you point it down at the fish and you don't even want to really have the bend of the rod,
Right.
you're going to be bending the rod and fishing it like a traditional live bait stick or another rod, like even a jig stick, right? You're putting it in your hip and you're fighting it straight up and down. The slow pitch jigging rods are so parabolic, the whole thing is bending and there's very little leverage with it. So low pitch, maybe even a long fall rod is somewhere more of like what a low pitch rod is, but I think it's even more different than that. So
Yeah, it's different. Long fall rods tend to be a little more stiff all the way through.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
At least the ones I have. I don't know if they're like
interesting. And they're very long.
they're marketed as long fall rods, but
Mm.
I don't really know. Those are the only ones I've used. So that's just
Yeah.
my basis for.
I don't really like slow pitch jigging rods, but I like the one that Simon made. I mean, it's really a more of a West Coast style slow pitch jigging rod, but it is got some backbone in it. I pulled on some big fish. Like we pulled up big cowcods and we pulled up big boccaccios. It's only a matter of time until we start pulling. Did you caught that tuna on the 600 gram
Yeah.
low pitch rod, right?
No problem.
So there you go.
It wasn't huge, 50-pounder, but
Still did it.
30-pound test, dude. It was no problem. They handle it. Salty says moon phase hasn't been a factor with all these overcast days. So you think that'd be something to do with the light, right?
Interesting.
That's an interesting thought. Fish eat all the time, just need to find them. Michael Trent says they're in Anaheim.
Yep.
On State and College, yeah. So go check those out,
And
guys.
Newport.
Hopefully they'll have some jigs there if you guys need the big boys.
And they'll have Taipan rods, by the way.
Oh yeah, and the Taipan rods. Yeah, everybody knows. Except for us.
No, I said Anaheim.
All
Quote
right. Do you only eat on a full moon or new moon days? I fast. I fast on full moons. I only eat new moons.
That's pretty funny. There's gonna be a meme about that. Watch.
Right. Oh yeah, Tyler works for.
Yeah, that's
Milton's.
why it said.
Oh,
what I
that's why you said it. Okay, I see the. So you saw his name. So you put the connection together. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't even do that. That's right. Yeah, Tyler, dude, that's awesome. I appreciate that, man.
Yes,
thank
you,
And
Tyler.
what before you said that I know we talked about it at PCS, but we definitely got to get that. We're gonna get a group together of boats and hit the bluefin. So Tyler wants to go out. He's got a Parker. I think he's got like a 22-foot, 25.
Yeah. Is that a
Parker,
25 or 23?
yeah.
I can't remember. He'll tell us.
We'll throw some people on his boat, throw them on my boat. If we can get like 5 or 6 boats out there, that'd be badass.
We thought we
And
were
go-
gonna do this
yeah.
2 years ago. So
We'll do it. I think we'll do it this year. I'm definitely down for that, Tyler. So I still want to do that. We'll get a bunch of you guys on there. So if you guys are interested in that, let us know. Just chip in for these guys' gas and stuff, and we'll get everybody on private boats, dude, and go hunt some bluefin when they're close. I think it'll be badass.
Tyler's watching from Brazil.
He's in Brazil?
That's what he said.
Damn, dude, what are you doing in Brazil? This guy's the man. He's the most interesting man in the world.
Wow. Is he fishing?
They're in the same time zone, though.
It's
So
weird.
it makes sense. Slow jig, butterfly jig, same thing, right? Yeah, I think so. You think they're different? I think a butterfly jig it meets like all the qualifications for like a slow pitch jig. It's asymmetrical. It's center weighted.
It doesn't fall the same as your stuff though. So why?
Yeah, but all slow pitch kind of fall. I think it was marketed different, but I think you could fish a butterfly jig exactly like a slow pitch jig.
You think so? I don't think so.
Maybe it's different because I don't think a butterfly jig is designed to get down fast.
When I look
a
at
slow pitch jig really is,
yeah,
because they're made to get to a zone and then be worked.
when I see a samurai fall, the samurai jig falls, it goes like this really fast.
Right.
When you do a butterfly jig, it does not fall like that. It does spins.
It
and
wobbles.
it goes away and does all sorts of random twists and turns.
But I think it's just there's different falls though. There's like cranky, there's soft. There's all these different like ways jigs fall. There's not like
The slow pitch doesn't go a certain
slow
way.
pitch by nature is just
The technique, the style.
well you just want something that goes horizontal, but the flutters are all different. It's like the sumo and the assassin fall, totally different.
yeah.
even though they would both be slow pitch
Is
jigs.
slow pitch jigging the act of moving the jig through the water, or
Well,
is the jigs fall?
A pitch is the reel. It's one reel. Like that's a pitch technically.
Okay.
Whatever makes or you can lift it. Like if you're long falling, like that's the pitch. One crank is like a pitch.
So why don't they call it long
lifts
pitch?
The jig.
Why don't they call it long pitch then? Slow pitch, long pitch, far pitch. Like what's?
Well, there's long fall.
Fast pitch. They have fast pitch.
Well, not about that. It's like speed pitching. It's like what I've heard it, or like speed, where they pump it really fast. It's slow because it's the jig is slow.
That's why it's a slow pitch jig.
Yes, because the jig, even though it can be worked fast, the action of the jig is slow when it falls. It doesn't go down. It comes up and flutters. Comes up and flutters. It doesn't just like go up and down.
So is a crocodile slow pitch jig?
Every time you lift it, no.
Why not?
Because it's not. It has the same weight all the way through.
Oh, so it's the asymmetry.
Center balanced is what makes.
Oh, okay.
The center balance is what makes the jig go horizontal.
Okay.
So a jig that is weighted evenly all the way through, that's what knife jigs are. They either have the weight in the back, or they're the same weight all the way through. And they don't have and they're symmetrical on the sides. So they're either rounded or they're flat, but they look the same. But then the weight is all the way either on one end.
Interesting.
The slow pitch jig has the weight in the center or towards the center. That's when you lift it. That's what makes it go sideways.
Got it.
If it's in the back, it just goes
straight
down like a knife jig. Yeah.
No flutter.
No flutter. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's still a technique. Like you can still bounce that. It kind of has a different action though. It's like goes like this. It doesn't ever like turn and then swim.
So that's why you're saying that
the slow pitch is a slow fall.
So that's
where the slow comes from. So a pitch is here, but the slow pitch is. But you can work a slow pitch fast. So the misconception is that you have to be working it slowly, and that's not true. It's just that the jig falls slowly. It's a slow moving jig
on a slack line.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it.
Correct.
Even like the ogre, which is a really narrow jig.
The ogre, but it's all center balanced.
Right.
When you look at it, it's tapered at the ends, and all the weight is in the middle. So even though it's a long jig, it's asymmetrical. The sides, top and bottom, are different. So it gets the wall. That's what creates the action. And all the weight is in the center. So that's how it turns sideways.
Interesting.
And stays on its side.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So even though it looks like a knife jig, it's not at all. It can be fished like a knife jig.
Right.
Because there's really no special. Like you can still send it down quick and reel it as fast as you can.
And
it'll still swim because it'll still kick when it goes up. So it can be a knife jig, but it's not. It's a slow pitch jig.
Right. I mean, you can fish anything.
You can fish it like a knife jig, but you can't really fish a knife jig like a slow pitch jig. But you can fish a slow pitch jig like a knife jig.
So what's the reason that a knife jig would be important? Is just to get down very fast?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But although most slow pitch jigs
get down pretty fast.
Yeah, it's kind of by design. You don't really want it fluttering all the way down unless you're like super shallow.
Right. When you thumb it and you just put a little bit of pressure, they go straight.
That's why a lot of like the high-end jigging reels, they actually have speed control on the fall just for that reason. My O'Shea jigger has that. So depending, you can put on a lure and get it dialed in so it falls at a certain speed.
Interesting.
So that it's going, because if you free spool it, the samurai is going to go all over the place. Right. So you actually have to have more attention. The ogre dude's like a rocket.
Yeah, that is a rocket.
That thing doesn't have any flutter unless you lift it. It's just like
you have to throw slack in that jig to make it really go. But I throw a lot of slack on the bottom when I'm fishing it. I work it, and then I throw the jig, and then I'll put the fathom in free spool, and I'll almost peel a line out like this and drop the thing. And it takes a long time for a 600-gram ogre to fall back.
Because it comes, same thing. It'll come up, that center weight turns it, and it stays. That's what keeps it there. Yeah. So that's the difference.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I think a butterfly jig, technically it meets the criteria of a slow pitch jig. My belief is Shimano, like nobody here. Shimano's had that thing for here so long.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anybody.
It's like since 2009.
I think they knew. Nobody knows what the hell slow pitch jigging. It was around. Slow pitch jigging was around in Japan at this point.
Yeah.
There's like no way they were going to bring it to America and like try to explain it at that point.
Could you imagine if someone was fishing it like really hardcore though this whole time and no one was saying anything about it? They've probably been killing it.
Yeah, it probably has. I bet some Japanese dudes have been over here doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Bait everywhere in La Jolla. Tim, what's going on, man? But does it translate to fish? That is the question. Steven Mendoza, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us. We have lots of submission jigs and taipan rods on the June trip. Yeah, that's awesome. It's gonna be a cool trip. Hope they're gonna work out.
I'll be on
I think they will. June
21st.
June 21st. That's my birthday.
Oh shoot! Where's your invite?
Right? What's up, Corey? He said if something came up, he's gonna let me know.
All right.
We'll see. Do you think the action of the lure is different? Which action? The butterfly, yeah. I think all slow pitch jigs action is different. That's why you get. So that's why I make, like, for example, that's why I have so many different profiles, because it's like the sumo is vastly different than the assassin. That's why the samurai is vastly different than the ogre.
Javelin's even more different.
I try to make multiple styles in the same weight with completely different profiles, because they act completely different ways, because the fish want different actions on different days.
Mm-hmm.
Like some days, if you're just spotted bay bass fishing, like some days the sumo kills it and the assassin doesn't really get bit. For whatever reason, they want that action. But I've had other days where it's all assassin and the sumo doesn't produce much. Some days it's both. But
yeah.
Same thing with rockfish. They, like, when we go rock, they tend to prefer one over the other for that day.
Yeah.
And you stick with whichever one is working. Sometimes it's both, but there are days where it was like only the samurai was like biting.
Yeah.
And
you were fishing the ogre.
Yeah. And it wasn't. I caught a few, but it was like, but the samurai was the ticket. So for whatever reason, they wanted a slower, fatter, wobbling presentation.
Yeah.
The ogre's a little faster. It slides, and sometimes they want that.
I caught a lot of reds on this trip that I went on.
But that was the ogre, right? That was
I
all
did.
ogre,
I really thought that the samurai was going to be the one to get the bites like that, but the ogre was producing the reds.
That day, it was for whatever reason.
Yeah,
that was
true.
the jam, yeah. So that's why I do I try to make different styles in the same sizes, just for that reason. Hey guys, any tips of preventing being seasick inshore, offshore, and progressively improved by using clips instead of trying to tie knots? Nice, dude. Any tips are more than welcome. I would say just take it before. The boning, I think, has been really good. My wife swears by that. She gets seasick and she takes it. My sister took it and she gets seasick and she was fine. Yeah. I think it's better than Dramamine. You don't get as drowsy.
More trips.
A lot of people wear the patch.
Yeah, the patch.
That patch has been a big thing too. But I think the key is you want to do it before you get on the boat.
Oh yeah.
Do not wait till you get there and do it. Do it the night before and then take one when you get on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take it, and that's usually in the directions. But a lot of people do that. Just do it the night before you go to bed. Start getting it in your system.
Yeah. Don't
wait till you're on the boat and then pop them in. It takes too long to work.
Yeah, and then you might throw up the pill too.
Oh yeah, that's too. Unfortunately, I don't get seasick. I'm lucky.
Me either.
Yeah.
I
luckily seasick. Don't have to use I haven't taken anything, but
I only get seasick on really heavy diesel fumes boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was feeling a little sick on this boat, like when I went in the cab, and it mostly was because it was so musty and like the fumes I could smell, and it was more than anything. It wasn't the motion of the sea. It was just like definitely like the exhaust and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Fresh air too helps. Don't self-isolate. Don't like going to the cabin and then put your head down and rest. Like also, if you're just taking your mind off of it too, talk to people. Go outside on the boat, have a conversation. That stuff actually really helps. Like the more you're thinking about getting sick, the worse it gets. So try to think about it. Try to talk to people, and also you can get over being seasick.
Mm-hmm.
So getting your sea legs is actually a thing. The more you go on boats, people that get seasick, keep going. You get over it, and your body will actually acclimate. And then the more you go on trips, you actually can get over seasickness.
Yep.
So sea legs is a real thing. So even if you're seasick and you keep going on, you'll progressively, your body will learn to basically get over it. So there's that too.
That's what happened to me. I think when I first started going out in big boats, like when I was 11, I got pretty seasick a little bit. And then like over the years, as I started, even if I don't go out a lot in like the winter, on my first trip back on the first boat ride, I get like a little bit uneasy, but after that I'm good,
Yeah, because remember we went out and it was choppy, and you were like, "This might be the day." You were like, "I might get seasick," and I was like, "Really? You feeling it?" And you're like, "Maybe a little bit," but you were okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that initial go out, you were like,
yeah.
You were saying might be. That was a rough day.
It was rough.
But you were good. Like midway through, it was.
Yeah.
It kind of had went away.
Catching fish helps.
Yeah. I think eating helps. People disagree.
not me.
You don't think eating helps?
No.
Jessica, my wife, gets seasick. Whenever she eats, she feels better. And we had Paige eat when she went out. She said she felt good too. I think maybe it's not a bad idea. Maybe don't be eating like the greasiest.
Yeah, don't have a breakfast burrito with hot sauce.
Don't eat hot dogs dipped in mayonnaise, wrapped in a burrito. But like, have some nuts or something like that. And I think it helps. People might disagree with me there, but
you heard it first. Hot dogs with mayonnaise.
Hot dogs and mayo. Yeah, dude, that'd be like the worst thing to get sick of. That's the only thing I could think of.
Hot dogs and mayonnaise was the only thing you could think of?
I do like mayo on my hot dogs.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. I like mayos on fries though too. Fries.
Oh, well, that's French.
That's so good.
Yeah, you might be more.
You ever had mayo on a hot dog? Like
no.
The bun, dude, it's so good. You're missing out.
Really?
Yeah. You guys, I know you got some Team Mayo guys in here. Don't leave me hanging. Who puts mayo on their hot dogs? Don't tell me I'm the only one. To hell with ketchup and mustard. I will take my bass boat. Yeah, dude. I'd love to. I'll pay you to see that. We'll see you 30 miles behind us, dude, soaked.
Man.
Let's see. What he says.
Relief band.
Oh, the relief band.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Marvin said it.
Jessica. So my wife Jessica, she does swear by that. And so I should say that. So last time she hasn't taken medicine and she did wear the bands, she's been okay. But I also don't know if that's just she's been on boats more and she's gotten the sea legs. It's hard to say, right? But yeah, they go on your wrists and they're supposed to hit like pressure points. She says they work, so there could be something to that. Might be worth a shot. I've tried the patches and Dramamine, but they got me drowsy. Yeah, get the Bonine, man. Dramamine sucks. You get so tired.
Yeah.
The Bonine's the way to go. I think it's like real similar stuff, just without the drowsiness. Oh, I just thought you were enforcing, dude. I'm like, get it done, Danny. Don't put up with anything in here. I meant to say with the low pitch taipan rods gives a lure. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we went on this whole tirade over the.
Oh, really? Was that last
on jigs? But he was talking about just the rods.
Oh.
Give the action. We went off on this whole thing about the jigs.
Did you have guys using submission with their live bait rods? Okay.
Yes.
So let me tell you my story about that.
And they were still getting bit.
Okay,
yeah.
So let me tell you my story though. I had the Florentinos on the boat, right? The Matt Florentino and Benny Florentino, and I let Matt the low pitch rod, and then you could tell immediately that you got more bit by using a traditional or a low pitch rod, or a slow pitch 100%. Rod. You do get bit more, because the action you impart is so much different, and you can feel everything. And when you use a live bait stick, it is not meant to throw a jig up through the water column, and it does not work it at all. It is not the way to go for this thing.
Yeah, Cameron, the guy from BD. The guy, he was throwing one on a broomstick, dude, and he was struggling. And and he wasn't getting bites. And then Nate let him use a slow pitch rod. Boom, instant. Yeah, he got bit, went down. Yeah, and then he got smoked by a sea lion on the way up. But sea lion ate the rockfish, and we lost the ogre with the hooks and everything from a sea lion. And we're like, I hope he chokes on that thing, dude. I hope he got hooked,
dude.
We saw he was like, he started pulling drag, and then the sea lion pops up. I'm like, oh no, and he reeled it in and the line snapped. So he ate the fish with like a 500-gram jig in it. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a bummer.
It was a bummer. We were laughing our asses. I just hope that sea lion dies. Sea lions get me again, man. They hate me. That's funny. Yeah, dude. Mayo.
Oh my God.
Mayo dog.
Simon likes mayo on his hot dog too.
That boy Simon. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh man.
Relief band, $140. That's what I use on. Oh, nice.
Nice.
I don't think she's got those $140 ones, but.
Did you look into that half day submission at sea?
Yeah, I talked to
Dolphin.
Malahini.
Oh, what did he say?
Oh, half day. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I did. What did I look at? I did look at the dolphin. I did look into it. I didn't email them or anything, but yeah, I definitely went and checked for like charters. And
Mountain
stuff
Heat
like
does
that.
a half day too.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
Okay, I'll get a hold
Just
of
saying.
Bill, or even like the Grande maybe.
Do they?
Malahini, we've looked at the full day. Does Malahini do a half day?
They do half day. I know because I built their website.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
That's
Ginger Ale.
that's-
That's a good one.
Yep.
Ginger. So Captain Dan used to be a captain. He's not just.
Well, I think
It's
he's still
not.
a captain.
He's not fake name. He's not like Captain Adobo.
right?
Where is Bruce?
It's been a while. Since
Yeah,
I've
where
seen
you
him
been, man? He hates us now. He's abandoned us. Ginger ale, ginger anything is good. Deterrent for getting sick. Fresh air. Yep. What's that?
Meclizine.
Meclizine. Non-prescription is very good for those prone. Interesting. Some good tips.
That is some good stuff, right?
Captain Dan was a captain for many years. Still is. So
They make ginger
Some good
candy
stuff.
too. Some stuff you can suck
Yeah,
on. So
that makes sense. Good stuff.
is that it?
I think that's it, boys. Minute 16. Hopefully you guys learned something today or enjoyed the show. I appreciate all you guys coming on and spending time with us. But yeah, as far as sport boats go, still get on there. Just the bite's not wild right now, so just don't go out there. I think expecting to get on, but you never know. You might be like the Shogun and just ended up finding them.
Yeah.
Everybody else went up there and had a rough time, but they got like 50 fish. But I still do it. Maybe I'd look for different trips. I'd look for island trips, honestly, at this point. Something where you can go do halibut and then fish rockfish and stuff like that. Unless you can go like a 3-day into Mexico.
3 days on right
But
now.
I think San Diego they're still getting on yellowtail and stuff.
And bluefin.
So, yeah, there's still fishing to be had. Just it's cooled off a little bit on the bluefin. But yeah, still go out there and support those guys. Just a little more realistic on your expectations. I think you'd be good to go. All right, guys. Remember, submissionfishing.com. Also, check out Fishing Reps Dealer Finder. So if you guys, I get that question a lot, where you can find our jigs. He's got a website. You can just put in Submission Fishing Jigs in your location and show you all the tackle stores around the area. So thank you for all the support. For those of you guys that have been buying them, you've been helping us grow. I really appreciate that. Thank you again for all the gifted subs. Dude, that was totally awesome. And,
That is awesome.
Yeah,
You
you guys
was
are the best.
That was
Joey.
Joey,
Yeah.
by the way.
He changed his name. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. Joey Bass is the man. I think he might be making some crankbaits or something.
Oh.
That's what he was. I saw him painting some on Instagram. So
Sick.
maybe he's looking for a little
Yeah.
tackle action there.
Mm.
Right on, dude. All right, guys. Until next time, get out there and fish. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm still beat
Yeah.
from that trip. So I'm feeling it. All right, guys. Later. Oos.
Oos.